When people tell you to work on your business, what does that even mean? Okay, well, there's two things that you can do, right? You can work inside your business, or you can work on your business. So today I'm going to show you the difference between the two different types of tasks that you can work on in your business, and you'll finally understand if you are not making progress, why. When I finally understood this concept and implemented it, my solo business went from 100K a year to 500K a year. So let's get into it. There are only two types of tasks in business. There are maintenance tasks and there are growth tasks. Everything in business, everything that you do is going to be one of these two things. So maintenance tasks are very simple. They are just tasks that keep your business running at the current level of income and the current amount of input. So keep the business going at the current level. So some examples of maintenance tasks are going to be things like client fulfillment, going to be things like daily social media posts, going to be things like answering your emails, what else? Sending invoices, calls with clients, or things like customer support. Now, don't get me wrong, maintenance tasks are not bad. Okay, if you don't have maintenance tasks, you actually don't have a business. They're literally how a business is sustained. They are necessary to maintain the current level of performance in your business. So if you just woke up one day and stopped doing maintenance tasks, what you would see is eventually things would start to go like this, right? Because there's no one at the helm. But maintenance tasks are not going to help you grow. And what I see with my clients is anyone who is totally maxed out on time and totally maxed out on money have one thing in common. They are spending 90+% of their time focused only on maintenance tasks. So when that happens, it feels like you built yourself a job and not a business. And there's no room to free up your time or make any more money because every single hour is spent just maintaining what you've already built. Now, that's obviously a problem. And growth tasks are the solution. So unlike maintenance tasks, growth tasks are different. They are tasks that create a growth in income, or they create a decrease in input or number of hours worked. So some examples of growth tasks are going to be things like working on your strategy, creating policies, building systems, automation, delegation, and just generally creating leverage in your business. Growth tasks are optional, but they are essential if you want to grow your business. The big leaps that you're looking for, those massive jumps, only come from focusing on things like this. So your job as a business owner is to spend as much time as humanly possible on growth tasks and as little time as possible on maintenance tasks. But there is some good news. Growth tasks are how you remove maintenance tasks. So if you want to free up your time, how you get maintenance tasks off your schedule is by doing more growth tasks. So when you build a system to delegate your social media account to an assistant, you are removing yourself from all of those social media maintenance tasks forever. Or when you create a policy that you don't want to work with clients under a certain budget, same thing, you're removing all of those lower price clients forever. And those are maintenance tasks, right? Or when you build an automation that sends your invoices monthly automatically, you're removing yourself from that administrative maintenance task forever. So freedom from maintenance tasks only comes from growth tasks. So if it's so obvious that growth tasks create progress in your business and maintenance tasks create stagnation, why do we get stuck? Why do we continue to fill up our schedule with maintenance tasks? Well, there's actual reasons, right? First reason being maintenance tasks need to get done. They are literally what keeps your business going at the current level, and they demand urgency. They're a perfect example of important and urgent. And when we drop the ball on them, inevitably what happens is the business will go down. So they need to be addressed in some way. All right. Second thing is in the short term, it's always going to be easier and faster to do maintenance tasks yourself, right? It's always going to take more time upfront to delegate or create a system. So we just end up doing these tiny tasks over and over again. And then finally, on the growth task side of things, growth tasks can basically be put off indefinitely. They're the things that are important but not urgent, that we know we should do, but we don't have to do. So most people just never do them. So the growth task conundrum is illustrated perfectly by a concept that comes from the world of economics and private equity. It's called the J-curve. And what the J-curve does is it illustrates the relationship between an investment and its return over time. And it basically looks a little something like this. Ignore the break. That's just for the word. Okay, what it's showing there is an initial loss at the beginning of the time, followed by a massive gain in the long run. And what you see here is this is exactly what happens when you do growth tasks. They take a little bit of time up front. It's always easier to not do them, but in the long term, that's where all the ROI is. But the J curve is why we never get around to growth tasks, even though they're amazing. In the short term, it'll just be always easier and faster to do it yourself. But in the long term, you lose. And once you understand this, right? Once you understand the J curve, you can't unsee it. Everything growth related requires upfront investment in order to get that long ROI. So if you're ready to take action, here is a quick exercise that you can do. And basically, you're just going to do a little bit of an audit to figure out how much time you're spending in these two areas. So first ask yourself, what percentage of your daily tasks are maintenance tasks? How much time are you spending each day on maintenance tasks? Those are things like client fulfillment, admin work, production, all the other things that I listed. And then after that, figure out, well, what percentage of my daily time is spent doing growth tasks? And those are going to be things like strategy, working on the business, delegation, elimination, automation, building leverage. Okay. Once you have those numbers, we can do a bit of an evaluation. And for most people, this might shock you. Okay. So if you are at 80% plus of maintenance tasks, I would say that is bad. And you are going to have an extremely difficult time growing your business because you are locked in by maintenance tasks. If 80+% of your time is spent doing tasks that only allow you to go horizontally, there's no growth there. Okay. But if you're getting into the 50 to 80%, that means that generally, hopefully, 20 to 50% of your time is doing growth tasks. And that's pretty good. That's okay. A lot of people would be happy to be there. But if you're a business owner right now, and you are doing less than 50% of your maintenance tasks, so more than half of your time is spent on growth tasks, that is great. And you probably don't need this video. You're probably already making a ton of money. All right. But this should be a wake-up call for some of you. Your goal as a business owner is to spend as much time as possible on growth tasks. This is your job, and as little time as possible on the maintenance tasks, because you have to remember that big leaps for your business will only come from growth tasks. So to answer that question, what does it mean to work on my business? It means doing as many growth tasks as possible.